Thank you for attending tonight's very important special meeting. With the time I have, I would like to do three things. Briefly introduce myself, tell you why I'm running and what I hope to bring to this board, and then with whatever time remains, take questions from residents who have not previously served on the board. If I'm elected, I will have ample opportunity to work directly with my fellow board members. But tonight, I would like to hear from the broader community. My name is Sean Polete. I live in Building 420, Unit 310, and I have been a resident of Carrington Crossing since 2022. So by way of introduction, who am I? I'm a father of three. I served 22 years in the United States Navy and retired as a commander. I have been a naval aviator, test pilot, aeronautical engineer, and a former senior program manager. I am also a leukemia survivor and the recipient of a bone marrow transplant. My eldest child is my 28-year-old daughter, who is profoundly disabled. My middle child is the son who donated the stem cells that gave me the opportunity to survive leukemia. And my youngest son died as a victim of suicide at the age of 16 in 2018. I have been married and divorced twice. I have been retired from the Navy since 2016, but I certainly have not been sitting still. I share those things not because today is about me. It is not. I share them because they have shaped the way I see people. I've known pain, I have known loss, and I have known fear, uncertainty, grief, and circumstances that can turn a person's life upside down without warning. So I understand that sometimes life just gets in the way. I understand that we do not always know what the person living next door is going through, and I believe that should matter in how we treat one another. We can enforce rules without losing compassion. We can disagree without becoming enemies. We can ask difficult questions without being treated as troublemakers. And we can hold people accountable while still treating them with dignity and respect. But today is not so much about me as it is about you and about our community. Carrington Crossing is more than buildings, parking spaces, budgets, rules, and assessments. For more than 300 owners and many more residents, this is home. And our association is not a small, informal operation. We manage millions of dollars in property, insurance, assessments, reserves, contracts, infrastructure, and long-term obligations. The decisions made by this board affect people's homes, their finances, their quality of life, and ultimately the value of their property. That deserves serious professional and accountable leadership. I'm not running because I believe everything the current or previous boards have done is wrong. That wouldn't be true. The association has taken some responsible steps. It commissioned a professional reserve study. It has funded reserves at approximately the recommended level. It has substantially paid down the fire-related loan. It pursued recovery concerning the insurance shortfall. And the board members have devoted significant unpaid time and effort to this community. We should acknowledge what has been done well. But acknowledging what works does not mean ignoring what can be better. I am running because I believe Carrington Crossing now needs to take the next step. We need governing documents that agree with one another and election procedures that every owner can understand. We need financial information that is not merely available but understandable. We need insurance coverage that is independently verified, not simply assumed to be adequate. We need better preventative maintenance and a serious strategy for reducing the recurring water leaks and damage that cost all of us money. We need stronger oversight of contractors and vendors with written specifications, inspections, punch lists, warranties, and accountability for defective work. We need a system where residents' questions, complaints, and maintenance requests can be tracked from the day they are submitted until the day they are resolved. We need rules that are applied fairly and consistently, with the same process for everyone. And above all, we need a culture in which residents can ask questions, disagree with decisions, and participate in their association without fear of hostility, retaliation, or being dismissed simply because they have a different point of view. My professional career was built around complex problems, where the stakes were high and where assumptions could have serious consequences. I have led large multidisciplinary teams, managed major programs and substantial budgets, evaluated contractors and competitive proposals, managed risk, dealt with safety and engineering issues, and made decisions where cost, schedule, performance, and accountability all mattered. One lesson I learned repeatedly is this: you do not solve difficult problems by hiding from inconvenient facts. You identify the problem, you gather the facts, you listen to the people affected, you understand the requirements, you consider the alternatives, you make a decision. And then you remain accountable for the results. This is the approach I would bring to this board. I'm not asking you to elect me because I will agree with everyone. I will not. And I'm not promising that every decision I make will make everyone happy. That is impossible. What I can promise is that I will listen. I will ask questions. I will read the documents. I will look at the numbers. I will challenge assumptions when they need to be challenged. I will treat residents with respect, and I will make decisions based on what I honestly believe is in the best long-term interest of the entire Carrington Crossing community. Not a clique, not a faction, not a management company, not a particular building, and not myself. My campaign can be summarized very simply: clear rules, understandable finances, verified insurance, accountable management, preventative maintenance, fair treatment, and respect for owners. Or perhaps even more simply, preserve what is working, fix what is not, and make sure we learn from what has happened. Carrington Crossing has been through a great deal in the last few years. A devastating fire, an insurance coverage gap, a significant special assessment, major reconstruction, a management transition, rising insurance and maintenance costs, and disagreements within the community. These experiences can divide us, or they can teach us. I am running because I believe we should choose to learn from them. I'm asking for your vote, not because I have all the answers, but because I know how to ask hard questions, work through complicated problems, and remain focused on the mission. And in this case, the mission is simple: protect our homes, protect our investment, treat people fairly, and leave Carrington Crossing stronger than we found it. My name is Polete, Building 420, Unit 310, and I would be honored to have your vote. Thank you. With the time remaining, I would be happy to take questions from residents who have not previously served on the board, so that tonight I can hear from voices that may not otherwise have the same opportunity to be heard.